The current presidential election found itself in Philadelphia as Joe Biden took to the stage for a television network debate. Hello, I'm Erin Holly.
And I'm Justin Gick. A controversial and popular sports blogger visits LaSalle to meet with the baseball team regarding support to save the program. We have all this and more coming up on LTV News.
Thank you for joining us. The big story on LTV News, following LaSalle's September 29th decision to reduce the number of intercollegiate athletic teams from 25 to 18 at the conclusion of the academic year, student athletes of the affected programs rallied together in support of their respective programs. Save LaSalle Baseball, Save LaSalle Men's Swim, and Save LaSalle Volleyball movements have all been launched on social media in recent weeks to solicit awareness, support, and donations. And the movements have not gone unnoticed. In response to efforts made by a LaSalle baseball alum, Dave Portnoy, founder of the infamous Barstool Sports brand, paid a visit to the Explorer's Den on Thursday, October 8th, to film a pizza review and raise awareness of the team's efforts. While many students rejoiced over El Presidente's visit, with some hoping the multimillionaire will provide the needed funds to keep the baseball and softball programs alive, other students, including the Student Government Association, have spoken out against his alleged racism and misogyny. Criticism of Portnoy's visit intensified after he described LaSalle's campus to his 1.8 million Twitter followers as, quote, awful, without ever actually visiting any university buildings. President Colleen Hanich responded on Twitter saying, quote, President to Presidente, hate to say it, but you missed the mark on this one. Hashtag more than just pizza.
Wednesday, October 14th started this year's Alumni and Family Weekend with a virtual wine tasting at 6 p.m. Other events Alumni and Family Weekend are hosting are In the Kitchen with Chef Jeff, Meet the Dean of Nursing and Health Sciences networking event, Honors Convocation, Virtual 5K, Bring Your Own Pumpkin Carving and Decorating, a virtual tour of the American Revolution Museum, and more. Alumni and Family Weekend will conclude Sunday, October 18th. Homecoming will not be celebrated this fall and is moving to the spring in hopes of being able to celebrate in person together.
Are you interested in seeing and expanding your knowledge of the world from your own home? LaSalle is offering virtual travel study courses this spring. This spring semester, the virtual travel study course destinations include Italy, Iran, and Ireland. The Italy travel study course is titled Monuments of Ancient Rome and will be instructed by Susan Dixon. The Iran travel study course is titled A Journey and will be instructed by Lyman Stebbins. The Ireland travel study course is titled Visualizing the Irish American Experience and will be instructed by Frank McKee. For more information on registering for virtual travel study courses for the spring 2021 semester, contact Kim Oliver at oliverk@lasalle.edu.
On Friday, October 2nd, President Colleen Hanich released LaSalle's plan to return to an on-campus residential experience for the spring 2021 semester. In an open letter to the university community, Dr. Hanich announced that courses for the semester will be split between in-person and remote experiences, with the opportunity for students to remain fully online if they so choose. Students who choose to live on campus upon their return in January will mainly be housed individually in the North Residence Hall complex, although upperclassmen students who wish to live in the St. Miguel Court townhouses, LaSalle apartments, and St. Teresa Court apartments will still be able to do so. All residential students will be required to purchase a meal plan regardless of class year in case of the need to quarantine or isolate in the St. Basil Court Residence Hall at any point during the semester. Now, we're seeing coming out of the announcement of the elimination of those athletic programs, we're seeing these save the fill-in-the-blank sport movements. We're seeing this with baseball. We're seeing this with men's swim and dive. We're also seeing this with volleyball as well. I'm interested to hear your take, Justin and Erin, about Dave Portnoy's visit. I know a lot of us, weren't there because we're not on campus. I was surprised to see that it did get some mainstream coverage. It did get picked up by CBS. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I wasn't there, but I did see all the social media coverage of that. And I think he had a really good turnout. And it was cool that he was trying the Explorer's Den pizza. But then after his visit was when things started to go downhill, and he had posted a video of him saying not nice things about LaSalle, so that definitely upset a lot of people in the community. What do you think, Justin?
I'm not really a big fan of Dave Portnoy. I did some digging after I saw this video, and I originally had thought that he was putting up the money, but now it looks like he wants to try and get donors to donate to get the 15 million or whatever the baseball is trying to do. I just don't like Dave Portnoy. Going back, it looks like he's friends with the Trumps, and a lot of his money from people that have stake in Barstool Sports have ties to Fox News. They also have one of the big donors for one of his stakeholders now is Donald Trump. So what I would worry about is, if he had donors put money into this, that, basically LaSalle would be funded by, some of these people like Donald Trump, who doesn't, obviously uphold our LaSallian values. So I don't know. He's just a very an interesting character, but I hope that I hope we can find the money some other way.
Yeah, the baseball team meant well in their efforts trying to raise money to save their program, but it just didn't turn out as expected.
Yeah, they of course they have every right to be upset, and I feel for these athletes, but I think at this point, even if money was magically to appear, millions of dollars, I highly doubt the university would accept the money. Given Dave Portnoy's past, and given the comments that have been attributed to him, some of them that are not necessarily, like you said, Justin, in line with those LaSallian values. So we'll definitely keep up on the story to see if anything materializes this semester or next.
Our producer, Sam Long, had the chance to sit down and interview Kristen and Hannah from Explorathon to talk about the executive board's plans for Explorathon 2021 among this non-traditional semester. Check it out.
Hello, everybody. I'm Sam Long, your interview host. I'm back again for another episode where we're going to talk about Explorathon this week with two Explorathon leaders. I'm sitting down with Hannah Baer and Kristen Kasinger this weekend to just talk about Explorathon. So first, for anyone who doesn't know what Explorathon is, anyone who doesn't go to LaSalle, can you guys explain it?
Sure. I can start, Hannah. Explorathon is a dance marathon benefiting the Be Positive Foundation, which is a foundation that supports families with childhood cancer. Obviously, with our virtual world, we kind of are spinning it and taking the awareness away from the dance marathon aspect and just trying to focus on hardcore fundraising for the Be Positive Foundation, doing a lot of fundraisers and teaching our community about the foundation. So yeah, we're focusing on just raising as much money as we can to give back to these families this year.
What kind of fundraisers have you guys done so far?
Hannah, do you want to touch on that one?
Yeah, so we just finished an awareness week where we did a TikTok fundraiser. So we tagged people to do TikToks, so it's like tag 5, donate 5. We've also done like a couple races to raise. We have a fundraiser coming up this week. Do you want to go off about that one, Kristen?
Oh yeah, so yeah, there's been a couple really fun ones that we've done at LaSalle with just like our LaSalle community. But every once in a while, the Be Positive Foundation has like their own campaigns. And they're having a campaign this upcoming Tuesday, actually. And if an individual was to raise $1,000, they actually get to adopt a Be Positive hero. And a Be Positive hero is actually one of the children that's fighting cancer. So the idea behind that fundraiser is if you raise $1,000, you came up with enough money to support an entire family, an entire child on your own. So you're going to get a photo of that child and a little thank you note from them, kind of saying, thank you so much. You did this for me all by yourself. So we're excited to see if anybody from LaSalle can raise $1,000 and get a hero.
Is it cool? Close to $1,000 yet?
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, that's good. So you said there's no dance marathon this year as there were in previous years. Are you guys doing anything virtual just to kind of compensate for the lack of that?
Yeah, we are in the works of planning what we're gonna do. You know what? No one said yet that there's no dance marathon, but we're, we're planning for that just with how everything's going. So we're hoping to do some kind of virtual thing. We are not leaning towards doing a virtual dance marathon that's 4 hours long and, all that. We don't think that that would get the energy and the excitement that we want. We want to do something that's still exciting, because the dance marathon's always about celebrating the fundraising everyone does all year. So we want it to be fun and exciting. And we don't think that having people dance over Zoom for 4 hours would be the right way to go. So we're going to try to figure it out. We're going to take ideas and do whatever is best for the community to celebrate.
Is there any good ideas so far for what you guys are going to be doing? Can we get a little scoop for LTV News?
If I'm being honest, we're kind of behind on the planning for the actual event. So nothing like to give a scoop, but we can let you know if we figure something out.
Sounds good. So I want to go back and touch more on that adopt a hero. Has anyone from LaSalle ever done that in the previous years? Has anyone reached $1,000?
Actually, this past semester, APD raised, like during this past semester, APD raised almost $1,000 in a day. So that is the most fundraising I'm aware of that we've gotten. It was pretty impressive. It was, like I said, less than 24 hours and they were almost at that $1,000 mark. So yeah.
That's awesome. So how many Explorathon leaders do you guys have? I mean, you must pool a lot of fundraising in with a certain amount of people, but how many people are there about?
We currently have, I think, 17 or 18 different teams. Ooh, excuse me. Different teams. We're always obviously encouraging more people to sign up and join the teams. Each team only really has a couple people on them right now. It's been Greek life centered, like oriented in the past couple of years, and we're trying to expand that to get more LaSalle students involved and make it a bigger fundraising event than past years. So if anyone wants to sign up, you can go to the Be Positive LaSalle Explorathon link and join the team.
Yeah,
or sign up as an individual.
We'll get a little graphic up right on you as you said that. Heads in there. But yeah, so if there's 17 or 18 teams and each team only has a few people, that's still a lot of money you guys are bringing in. Do you remember the exact amount of how much money you guys raised last year?
I should. I don't know off the top of my head the exact. I want to say it was 22,000. Over a little bit over 22,000. So our goal for this year is 25,000.
I think you guys can break it. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this lovely morning. I can't wait to see what you guys end up doing. We'll definitely promote ways to donate on the show, and we can't wait to see what the future holds for you guys. Thanks for sitting down.
So much. Thank you.
Thank you.
On Thursday, October 16th, Vice President Joe Biden participated in a televised town hall hosted by ABC News. The event was called The Vice President and the People and took place at the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia. The moderator of the town hall was ABC's chief anchor, George Stephanopoulos. During the evening, Biden took questions from voters that supported him, supported President Trump, or were unsure of who they would vote for in November. Biden addressed viewers and the audience about his plans for fighting COVID, race relations, the environment, and his view on stacking the Supreme Court. Stephanopoulos pressed Biden harder on some of his ideas, and Biden seemed to give detailed answers. At the end of the town hall, Vice President Biden stayed and talked to audience members who were not able to speak their question during the program. The next day, it was announced that Biden's town hall on ABC received more views than President Trump's on NBC News the same night.
Senator Pat Toomey has announced that he will not seek re-election for his Senate seat, nor will he run for Pennsylvania governor in 2022. Governor Tom Wolf cannot run for governor again due to the state's gubernatorial term limits. So with Pat Toomey's retirement and Tom Wolf's term coming to an end, there will be 2 open seat statewide elections in Pennsylvania in the middle of the next president's term. Toomey said that he hopes to be the chairman of the Senate Banking Committee. Toomey also said that his decision to leave office is personal, not political, and that he supports term limits and believes the 18 years he has served is long enough.
Looking for fun, free, and socially distanced events this Halloween season? Look no further than the free drive-in movie nights at the Mann Center in Philadelphia. Every Wednesday and Friday, the Mann Center offers free drive-in movies in their parking lot. Throughout the Halloween season, spooky movies will be played there. To reserve a spot, visit the Mann's website at www.manncenter.org.
Former Philadelphia District Attorney Seth Williams is now breaking his silence on lessons he learned while being incarcerated. Williams was indicted on bribery and extortion charges back in March of 2017. He was sentenced in October of 2017 to 5 years in prison on the charges. The former disgraced district attorney was released from prison back in April of 2020 after serving under 3 years of his sentence. Williams is now speaking out about his wake-up call and mission as he restarts his life. He talked about reconnecting with his faith and being more present for his family. Williams' ultimate mission is to fight for voter rights for felons and was hired by the Hairston Foundation. He is still grateful for having the chance to serve Philadelphia and regrets letting people down. He is asking for people's forgiveness. Williams hopes he can now help others through this new role.
So admittedly, I did not watch either the Biden town hall here in Philadelphia or the Trump town hall that I believe Justin was in Miami, if I'm correct there.
Yeah.
I admittedly did not watch either of those. Justin, I'm sure you extensively watched both. I'm curious your take as to differences you saw between the two, some of the highlights.
Well, Nick, I think the Biden town hall went really well. I think Biden really performed well with that intimate crowd instead of in, the debate style. I think we got to hear more of, what his campaign is truly about, the kind of person he is. And, even afterwards, after the town hall was over, he actually stayed behind after, George Stephanopoulos left and actually talked to more of the people in the town hall that didn't get to ask their questions during the actual program. So all in all, I thought his went really smoothly. I mean, he did lag on at times, but I heard that the NBC town hall with Trump was very heated. I know Savannah Guthrie kind of pressed President Trump on his response to QAnon and white supremacy, and also asking him about, when was his last COVID test? Did he test negative? And, of course, the president threw back at her, like, of course you'd ask that and stuff like that. He wasn't really forthcoming with these answers. And, as we're seeing right now, Biden is leading Trump in a very high margin. So I think it'll be very interesting to see what the voters decide in just a couple of weeks from now.
You're right.
Aaron, so kind of moving from this political segment, tell us about this new spooky drive-in that's happening.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear more.
Yeah, so as you guys know, obviously our Halloween season this year is looking a little different due to the COVID pandemic. But one fun socially distanced event happening in Philadelphia is that the Mann Music Center is doing the spooky drive-ins, which are drive-in movies that they're playing on Wednesdays and Fridays. And you can get your friends and family together in your car and socially distance from other people and watch scary Halloween movies and still kind of have somewhat of a Halloween season experience.
The first and only vice presidential debate between Kamala Harris and Mike Pence took place on Wednesday, October 7th. Our own Aidan Tyzinski has the story.
2 weeks ago was the vice presidential debate between Vice President Mike Pence and Senator Kamala Harris. Unlike the presidential debate, this one was much more civil. This debate did not live up to the hype that the media created after President Trump's positive test of coronavirus, although both running mates were able to throw in their shots. Senator Harris criticized the vice president's handling of the coronavirus task force, while Vice President Pence went after Harris's record as DA in San Francisco. Both candidates avoided multiple questions in the only vice presidential debate before the election. Neither candidate said what they would want their states to do if Roe v. Wade was overturned, although Vice President Pence said he was pro-life and Senator Harris said she was pro-choice. Senator Harris refused to answer any questions about packing the Supreme Court, and Vice President Pence dodged questions of the specifics of repealing Obamacare. The most memorable moment of this debate was a fly that landed on Mike Pence's head, which arguably created more buzz than the debate itself. In the end, I don't know if this debate changed the minds of many people for the upcoming election or their feelings of the candidates. There will be one more presidential debate before the election, which will be on October 22nd at 9 p.m. Reporting from LTV News, I'm Aiden Tiksinski.
On October 11th, the Los Angeles Lakers won their 17th NBA championship title. This was the Lakers' first NBA Finals appearance since 2010, when the late Kobe Bryant won his fifth and final NBA title. It's the fourth championship for LeBron James in his 10th NBA Finals. James previously won 2 titles with the Heat and the Cleveland Cavaliers. He also became the NBA's all-time leader in playoff games played at 260.
On Monday, October 12th, the Senate Judiciary Committee began their hearings on Judge Amy Coney Barrett, who was nominated by President Trump to serve on the Supreme Court after Justice Ginsburg's death. It began with opening remarks by Republican Chairman Lindsey Graham and Ranking Member Senator Dianne Feinstein, who is a Democrat. Over the course of the week, senators on both sides got to ask questions to Judge Barrett on her career, position on current Supreme Court cases, and her personal life. Judge Barrett sometimes got feisty in her comments to the senators, but did her best to answer them. She did not have any notes with her and was asked, and she simply held up a blank notepad. Perhaps the most awkward day of the hearing was when Senator Sasse asked her about the First Amendment and asked her to name the 5 freedoms. She said 4, but began counting off her right hand and asked what she was missing. The hearing did not get too heated, and Senator Graham gave ample time to all senators. They are expected to vote on Judge Barrett's nomination before Election Day.
The first millennial saint may be on the rise. A teenage computer whiz who died of leukemia in 2006, Carlo Acutis, may be beatified soon. This teenage computer gamer and programmer from Italy devoted the final years of his young life to the church at such a young age. His mother said that since the age of 3, he visited any churches they would pass. When he was diagnosed with leukemia, he offered his sufferings for Pope Benedict IX and the church. A portrait of Carlo was recently unveiled at the beatification ceremony at the Basilica of St. Francis of Assisi. He has been referred to as the patron saint of the internet, as he created a website that managed sites for local Catholic organizations. Carlo Acutis was canonized back in 2013 and was made venerable in 2018. With his recent beatification, he is now considered blessed, and the next step for Carlo is sainthood.
On October 6th, the rock world lost a revolutionary icon. Eddie Van Halen lost a long battle to cancer as announced by his son, Wolfgang. Eddie was a pioneer of rock music as we know it now, perfecting techniques used by guitarists such as tapping. Van Halen played on countless hits such as Running with the Devil, Panama, and the solo on Michael Jackson's Beat It. Eddie was remembered in countless posts from former bandmates and fans alike. He will be missed.
So, Nick and Justin, in recent world news, I don't know if you heard about this, but in Italy, a young man may be becoming a saint, and he died at only 15 years old. So this could be the first saint from, our generation. Isn't that crazy? He's so young. I've never heard of anyone becoming a saint at that age.
No, I wonder if that is the record year. If the youngest person to ever become a saint. I mean, we've definitely heard of accomplished, much older people becoming saints, but to have a teenager die so young, to kind of already, I believe he's already on the path to sainthood.
Yeah, he's already considered blessed. So the next step after that is sainthood.
Right.
Right. He's already, yeah.
Yeah, and I was at Mass a couple weeks ago, and the priest was actually telling us this story about, this younger kid becoming a saint. So I thought this was very interesting, and it was interesting that we actually were doing a story on this. So it'll be interesting to see if, he fully becomes a saint.
Yeah, that just really shows that even at such a young age, people can make a difference in the world.
That does it for this episode of LTV News. Keep up with our continuing coverage and the entire LaSalle TV network online through our LaSalle TV Philly YouTube page.
Until next time, for Sam Wong, Justin Gick, and Nick Paleo, I'm Erin Holly. Thanks for tuning in. Be well, stay healthy, and please wear a mask.